Hey guys, it's Prateek here, and today I'll be talking about the best carpeting plant in the aquarium. It's the Monte Carlo. The Monte Carlo is one of the best aquarium plants you will ever find for your carpets. It requires moderate CO2, so you cannot grow it in no CO2 conditions. That's a big no-no because it's really hard for it to grow in a zero CO2 condition. But I do have a DIY CO2 system running, and Monte Carlo is the ideal plant to grow for your carpets. How you could tell that it's growing perfectly is that you need to see that the plants which grow do not grow horizontally, that they grow downwards is what you need to look for. And if they grow upwards, like this plant, this is not a Monte Carlo which I am focusing right now, this is not a Monte Carlo, but it shouldn't grow tall and sturdy. That means there is a reduction of CO2 levels, and if it grows downwards the way this has grown, let me talk about, or rather let me show you one of the stems which I just planted. If it grows downwards like these, can you see it's sleeping downwards into the aqua soil and then growing, so that will form the mat. As I said, it should not grow upwards, because if it does grow upwards, then you are in for trouble, and then you might as well think that you're not growing it the correct way. It requires 8 to 10 hours of lighting in the initial conditions. Once you do have 8 to 10 hours of lighting for the Monte Carlo will give you the ideal carpet. It takes about 30 to 45 days to carpet, and ideally speaking you would need a CO2 emission, or the bubbling of CO2, which I do have done a DIY CO2. A DIY CO2 system is ideal. Even a pressurized is better than a DIY, but you do require a CO2 system. Most of the people try carpeting but fail to carpet due to one simple reason, is that they do not have CO2 in their tanks. Not having CO2 is one of the biggest mistakes one could do, because it takes a lot of time. If you do not have CO2, it does take a long time, a very long time in fact, or it might not even just carpet, it might just stop and fall down. So if you have CO2, you will see color rise, and you would also need a good lighting system. Here I do have a T5 lighting system. If I could show you, I do have a T5 lighting system, 2 into 24 watts, but you do need a good lighting condition. So that's all for today. Hope you like my video. Please to subscribe, and please to tell me if anything is there in the comment. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys.